Right now in Israel, preparations are being made that cannot be reversed. A priesthood is being restored. A sacrifice system is being built. When you see this happening, a specific 7-year period is about to begin. Jesus warned us to watch for this exact sign in Matthew 24. The prophet Daneil described it in detail. And it's not coming, it's already here. The high priest is ready. The question is, are you? For nearly 2,000 years, the thought of rebuilding the temple or restoring the priesthood was impossible. When the Romans destroyed the Second Temple in 70 AD, they didn't just destroy a building, they ended an entire system of worship that had existed for centuries. The priesthood was scattered, the sacred vessels were taken, and the daily sacrifices came to a complete halt. It seemed final, but the prophets declared that one day in the last generation it would all return. And somehow, against all odds, it's happening right now. In Jerusalem, men are being trained to serve as priests, not as historians or reenactors, but as living participants in a restored temple service. These are the descendants of the tribe of Levi, carefully verified by genealogy and DNA. They've been taught how to perform the ancient rituals with exact precision, down to the smallest detail, exactly as written in the Law of Moses. And one man has already been chosen to stand as high priest. His identity is not public, it's too controversial and politically explosive, but those close to the Temple Institute confirm his existence. He's trained, he knows the rituals, and he's waiting for one signal, the readiness of the Temple Mount and the purification by the Red Heifer. Because the moment the sacrifices begin again, Daniel's final prophetic countdown starts, the 7-year period often called Daniel's 70th week, a time that will reshape the entire world. To understand the gravity of this, we need to go back. When Rome burned the temple, the priesthood vanished overnight. The Day of Atonement, the most sacred day of the year, was silenced. The Holy of Holies, where God's presence dwelled, became inaccessible. For the first time in centuries, there was no blood on the altar, no smoke rising toward heaven, no intercession for the nation. And yet, the prophets said it would not end there. Ezekiel foresaw a future temple. Daniel wrote of sacrifices that would one day begin again, only to be stopped halfway through a 7-year period. And Jesus himself spoke of the abomination of desolation standing in the holy place. All of these prophecies point to one thing. There must be a temple, there must be priests, and there must be sacrifices. And for the first time in nearly 2 millennia, every one of those requirements is being prepared. 1948, Israel was reborn as a nation fulfilling prophecy. Jerusalem returned to Jewish hands in 1967, fulfilling what Jesus called the time of the Gentiles, coming to a close. The priestly garments have been remade, the golden menorah stands ready, and every sacred vessel described in the book of Exodus has been painstakingly recreated. They are not replicas. They are real sanctified instruments of worship. But for years, one critical piece was missing, the Red Heifer. In Numbers 19, God commanded Moses to sacrifice a perfect red heifer, one without spot or blemish, to create the waters of purification. Without it, the priests could not be purified, and without purification, no one could enter the temple. For nearly 2,000 years, no red heifer had ever been found. Jewish tradition teaches that only 9 red heifers have ever been offered in history, and that the 10th would appear in the time of the Messiah. And then, something extraordinary happened. In 2022, 5 perfect red heifers were born in Texas. They were carefully examined by rabbinical authorities, found to be flawless, and flown to Israel under special care. Today, they are in Israel, being guarded and monitored, waiting until they reach the right age. And right about now, they are old enough. When the ashes of that red heifer are finally prepared, the purification process can begin. The priests can be cleansed, the high priest can be anointed, and for the first time in nearly 2,000 years, sacrifices can resume on the Temple Mount. This is not myth. It's not theory. This is happening. And Daniel told us exactly what would follow. He will confirm a covenant with many for 1/7. In the middle of the 7, he will put an end to sacrifice and offering. That he is the coming world leader, the man of lawlessness, the son of perdition, the little horn, the Antichrist. He will rise not as a dictator at first, but as a man of peace. He will bring stability to a world desperate for it. He will confirm a 7-year peace agreement, a covenant involving Israel and its neighbors. And for the first 3.5 years, peace will appear to flourish. But halfway through the 7-year period, everything will change. He will break the covenant. He will enter the temple by force. He will stop the sacrifices and declare himself to be God. This is the abomination of desolation Jesus warned about the moment the Great Tribulation begins. When you see this, flee to the mountains, for then there will be great tribulation. But notice something crucial. None of this can happen without the temple. None of it can happen without priests or sacrifices. And all of those are ready right now. The nation of Israel exists. Jerusalem is back under Jewish control. The priesthood has been restored. The temple vessels are completed. The red heifers are qualified. And the high priest has been chosen. Every prophetic piece has fallen into place. All that remains is the covenant, the agreement that begins Daniel's first week. And peace talks are already taking shape. Leaders across the globe are calling for unity, coexistence, and a new era of Middle East peace. Could one of these coming agreements be the covenant Daniel spoke of? No one can say for sure, but what we can say is that the stage has been set exactly as Scripture described. These aren't coincidences. They are confirmations. And every day the world moves one step closer to the fulfillment of prophecy. When these things begin to happen, lift up your heads, for your redemption draws near. He didn't tell us to fear. He told us to be ready. If you have never given your life to Christ, now is the time. Not because of fear of what's coming, but because of the hope of who's coming. Because while priests prepare on earth, our eternal high priest Jesus, the Son of God, has already made the ultimate sacrifice once and for all. Hebrews 9 says, He entered once for all into the holy place, not by the blood of goats and calves, but by His own blood, thus securing eternal redemption. No human priest can do what He has already done. No sacrifice can match His offering. The events in Jerusalem are not random. They are prophetic. They are signs of the times, and they are shouting to this generation that the return of the King is close. The high priest is ready. The temple is ready. The world is ready for peace. But are you ready for His return? Stay alert. Stay watchful. Because prophecy is no longer a distant vision. It's unfolding in real time. The countdown has begun. And the question is not if, but when. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to help support this channel and my work and get some cool extra perks and benefits, you can consider becoming a channel member, and you can find the links to do so in the video description. Please also remember to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload or a live event. Thanks again, and God bless.